in that language, how would you say your name, Mike, in Maltese?
Mikhail.
Maltese is kind of a smashed together amalgam of English, Italian, and Arabic. So Michael actually just kind of comes out.
So it might be like this.
I would probably be Michael Echo.
Something like that?
Okay.
Just get rid of doctor here, Echo, because we were repeating it twice. Just put chief evangelist and sales consultant.
Okay, I get it. All right. This is your time in the presentation. I'm going to come out and I'm going to introduce you. This is Dr. Michael Echo, our chief evangelist and sales consultant. Michael, take it away. Okay, so now you have a slide, new slide. We see incredible opportunity for you. You can be the first to take advantage of this new birthing technology. Or you could sell White Stork services to your family, friends, and neighbors while making a great living for yourself doing good for others. How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's get a little space in there. Oops, NTS. Okay, what kind of supplements are you going to sell these people?
It's a natural mood balancer. It's going to balance the hormones and the endorphins, so it's not only going to physically put them in a better place to have the baby, it's really going to make them feel a lot better about themselves.
So what are we talking about price, Dr. Echo?
25,000.
Yeah.
That's cheap.
Well,
That is cheap.
If you consider $25,000 for the treatment plus the $10,000,
For guaranteed success, you've got to charge more.
then we think if it's 88% successful, we'll call that 1 out of 10 being not successful. So add an extra 4,000 to that times the 10 that are successful, the 1 that isn't. That makes up another 35,000 anyways to sort of pay for their second time around.
35,000.
Yeah,
I'm
so call
telling
that
you
in.
right now, we could
Okay.
easily get $100,000 for this service.
Yeah, but if the insurance doesn't cover it, the average person isn't going to be able to afford that.
Well, we're not. They'll find the money.
Oh, that's true, actually. That's
They'll
very true. I
find it.
mean, you know, if you compare it to the petri dish technology, I mean,
Yeah.
this is like, 88% success. I mean,
With
forget
guarantee.
it. That's right. We guarantee it.
Do we refund their money if we?
No, just take them through a second time.
Okay, $100,000 with second chance guarantee.
What would I do if I had $100,000? Well, let me have you sit down and I'll tell you just what I would do. I'd buy 1 billion babies and build them a castle that goes up to the sky. I've been programmed from God above and sent out on a mission to spread the love, to spread the love. 1 billion babies, a blue castle that goes up to the sky.
All right, thank you so much for allowing us to videotape you this evening. We use this videotape to help us improve our services for you. We are White Stork Enterprises, and we will provide you with the services that you need to connect to the most advanced technology available for nurturing embryos. No matter if you are a sperm donor, a gay couple, a barren couple, or single, we can help you achieve your parenthood goals. So let me tell you a little bit about what we do. Excuse me. Oh, I forgot. Could you all please turn off your cell phones? Thank you. Thank you for turning off those cell phones. We really appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. All right, so what we do, we're called White Stork Enterprises. We're a relatively new company, but we think that we have a service and a franchise opportunity that you're all going to really be able to take advantage of. So again, my name is Dr. Pomona Laval, and I have a PhD in biotechnology from MIT. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Ace Welby. He's our chief medical consultant, has his medical degree from Harvard Medical School. And this is Dr. Michael Echo. He's our chief evangelist and sales consultant. So at this time, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Dr. Welby, and he's going to take you through some of the medical background that you need to understand about our services and entrepreneurial opportunities.
Thank you, Dr. Lavelle. Well, how's everybody doing out there tonight, huh? All right. I'm so glad that you guys all came here tonight. This is a very exciting time in the history of birth. You know, historically, as you know, the birth process happened in the woman's womb. But through technology and through the ability to manipulate technology, we've been able to change that. As you know, the petri dish for the last 20 years has been very successful. But unfortunately, its success rate has only been about 29%.
That's correct.
What we have available now is a new technology that allows us to utilize a microchip. And the microchip has two layers, a top layer and a bottom layer. The bottom layer is for the basically for the mother's eggs, and the top layer is for the sperm. And so what we have the ability to do is to take a slight bit of liquid that helps for the insemination, that allows it to live, whereas in the petri dish it would die after a certain time. So now I want to move on, and we're going to introduce Dr. Michael Echo, evangelist and sales consultant for White Stork Enterprises. Dr. Echo?
Thank you. How's everybody doing tonight? That's good. So, you've heard all the science, heard all the sales. I just want to let everybody know everything that you're getting yourself into, everything that you're allowing yourself tonight to become a part of. We're taking you out of the old technologies, out of the old thought processes. We're adding back the spirituality while increasing the available technologies for a greater success rate. We have a wonderful Adobe setup for you out in the mountains, out in Santa Fe. Everything you do, everything you eat will be monitored by us for well-being all throughout the process, the pregnancy, up to the birth. Do you have any questions?
I have several questions, but I guess one of the first among them, I'm an aspiring rocker, and well, I'm a multi-artist, but I'm, I listen to a lot of loud music. There's a lot of, I'm wondering about frequencies, white noise levels, we'll say Melvins, Flipper, Caius, Queens of the Stone Age, the Desert Sessions. Will they hurt our babies?
All I want is a baby. Every time we make love, we can't have a baby. Apparently, all of a sudden, this doesn't matter to you, but actually, that's actually what we discussed. There's no force here. All I want is a baby. And that is why I'm here. Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Actually, you say you're an evangelist, right? But evangelist is exactly what? Because you look kind of like a shrine to me. And I'm just kind of figuring out the whole, situation you're showing here. I see you misspell words on the presentation here. I see 2 of them. And I'm just like, hey, what the fuck did I just pay my money for?
There are children.
My fucking woman wants to go see some seminar or some shit about some chip. What's next? Barcodes on the fucking back of your neck or something? The barcodes on your forehead? I mean, what's next then, you know? We're all gonna be automated, pushing buttons, sitting on our fucking ass, looking at internet, fucking MTV bullshit all fucking day, and not getting anything done because our kids are automated fucking machines their goddamn selves too. So I say, fuck that. I don't give a damn about a fucking chip. You know, we're supposed to be doing something evolved now. We're not doing anything evolved. Looks like we're taking a bullshit handicap crutch on humanity, and we need to fucking wake up and grow the fuck up.
So, folks, let's try to get back on topic, and in order to, let's just change the atmosphere here a little bit, let's bring out one of our success stories. Come on out, Miles. This is one of the first children born using this new technology. Here you go, Miles. You just speak for yourself.
Well, my dad, he used to have kidney failure, and he would go to dialysis once, twice, maybe even 3 times a week, down at the hospital to get his blood cleaned out. And he would have seizures sometimes, and he would be on the couch or the floor bleeding. And one day, when my mom had left for Seattle to interview for a job, a couple hours later, he'd gone up to his room, and I never saw him come back downstairs. And then I heard a loud bang in our dining room, and I ran in there as fast as I could, and my dad was lying there, I think unconscious, under a chair. And I picked up the chair, and I dragged him into the middle of the room and flipped him over, and his head was cracked open, and he was bleeding heavily. And so I started sobbing right there, and I didn't know what to do except call 911, so that's what I did. And the ambulance came and took him away, and I went and stayed over at my friend's house, and that memory still kind of haunts me today. So.
Miles totaled 1311 on his SATs.
Well, you know, I mean, I had a 1400 and I wasn't, well, Bill Gates.
You were an adult. He's not supposed to be the genetically...
I got a 1400 on the PSATs when I took them in 8th grade.
Well, I'll tell you what, sir. Then guess what? We're going to take those genes, we're going to mix them with her genes, we're going to give you the best possible outcomes of both, and hopefully, maybe I want to make you have a baby that's capable of test scores higher than Miles. I want to give you the best possible that you two are able to create.
And there is a difference, right, between the actual genetically the genetically modified, or how do you say?
Well, what we can do is we can leave everything up to chance as in nature. We can get a random egg, a random sperm to make a random embryo, and we'll implant those in you. Or, because we have this higher success rate, we have a higher number of embryos to choose from, those which may add or subtract from the product that you want to end up with. What I call the 17-hour club, and what most, I guess, mainstream American males would view as a one-night stand and really fun and really cool, I kind of view as a curse. I have the 17-hour club where I'll meet a girl and we'll spend 17 hours together, and it'll be really amazing. It'll be a real connection, but then I'll never really see them again or never make that connection again. And I guess that's what I complain about most, is that I can never make any of those last. Any of the long-term relationships are the regular boring kind. I don't get into a long-term relationship with girls I set couches on fire with or run away from bats in the woods from and stuff like that. But lately, getting out of a really long relationship and adding a few new members to the 17-hour club, I kind of look at just those little stories and how much more effect they've had on my life. And I guess since each one of them changed me differently, they're a bit more of a blessing than, I like to complain about. And I am well fed and I am warm. And, but I still wonder if any of those will ever develop into something long term, because that's actually what I want and that's what I'm looking for. And the opposite always seems to happen.
So I have one brother, and he's 3 years younger than me. And when we were both teenagers, I was a pretty big bitch to him. I was pretty rude, and always in the halls in our high school, he would try and hug me from the other side of the hallway, and I'd push him off like I didn't even know him. It was pretty cruel. And when I was 18 and graduated from high school, I moved to Thailand. And only from living there for about 6 months, then we actually grew closer because of me being on the other side of the world. And during that time, I was an HIV/AIDS volunteer at a small public hospital. So the reason I was doing HIV/AIDS work there is because for many years before that, I was very, very interested in working with people with AIDS. And when I was 15, 16, 17, I really didn't have the opportunity. The opportunity didn't come to me, let's say. So going to Thailand brought that opportunity to me because they really do have a high rate of AIDS in the country for a variety of reasons. And when I left, I knew that I wanted to go back to do that kind of work again. So upon returning to the US, I did other things, did school, did work, other things. But always when I was continuing with my integrative medicine internships in Belize, when I was meeting with people in Ecuador, when I was meeting with people in New York, I always had this question: what would you do if someone came to you with HIV? What would you do? What would you do? So all through this time, I could say that my brother was my best friend, as he still is to this day. So on Halloween Day 2007, he finds out that he is HIV positive.
Okay, we have a question over here.
Yes, right here. Well, I've been working for NASA for 20 years, and my wife, because it's important, and when we're talking about technology, right? So I guess my question is, we're talking about the physical deformities that you can get rid of, that you can erase your child. What about the emotional disabilities, the mood swings, the thing?
Well, apparently.
NASA knows a lot about emotions.
Well, that's exactly our point. Not only are we creating a healthier environment for your emotional well-being, but we're also supplying the nutrition, we're supplying the education. We're going to give you the tools it takes to give you everything you need so that you yourself and your wife are both emotionally in a better place, physically in a better place.
All right, okay. Will they be... Can we make them less hairy?
What?
How am I supposed to sleep with you snoring like that?
Deal with
I thought
it.
you got... No! You know what? We need to get up anyway. Yeah, you do. If I'm not going to sleep, you're not going to sleep, and we got to fill out this papers anyway. I look again. This book right here.
What book?
Get up, my God.
What?
You just blew your breath in my face.
When am I supposed to blow it?
Away from me. Look.
What? Book? What book?
This one, the one they gave us. We got to fill these papers out.
They gave us a book? They gave you a book? Yeah.
Yeah, look.
Okay, all right. So, what are we looking at?
Well, I got really excited about all these add-ons. I don't want to get just a basic package. That's ridiculous. If I'm going to do this, we're going to do it all. So you got to get the
Okay.
money. You got to get the money. I'm not asking my mom.
What do you mean? I gotta get the money.
Yeah, you got to get the money.
What does that mean?
Well, you're the one with a gambling problem. Get the money.
Oh, that's it. Okay, so we're getting a new kid because I have a gambling problem. Huh?
Well, no, we're going to get all the good stuff.
Why don't I just go to some kind of
Because-
therapy? It's a lot cheaper.
No, look, you got me excited about the damn kid.
Screw that.
I shouldn't even.
Okay, I'm down with it. Let's go. I'm happy about this.
So, look, I want this genetic engineering stuff, and I want to make. I don't want diabetes, Alzheimer's. Why would they even put that in here? You know, of course we don't want that. Flat feet. Flat feet can't be that bad. Wouldn't they be quieter?
Are you serious? Flat feet?
Well, I don't
Let's
know.
just go down the list.
It doesn't have to be repaired. All I'm saying is I'm saving you $5,000.
$5,000.
Well, there's one
Let's
less.
pick one.
One?
Yeah.
Okay, so then, okay, all right.
Why not?
All right, we'll choose repair cleft foot, and then we'll get schizophrenia and Alzheimer's and high blood pressure.
Honey, you
We're
need
not
to
just
go.
I'm not just gonna pick one. I'm not.
Well, pick two.
No.
I don't have the
You know what?
gambling
We're not
gene,
doing
but I
this.
don't have that much
We're not
of the
doing this.
gambling
You know what? You're not even involved. Just get up. Just go. I need to sleep. Just go.
I'm not brushing my teeth. Traitor.
Come on. Wake up.
Well, let's talk about genetic engineering first. We'll talk
Yeah.
then we'll talk about social engineering. Do you want any of those features? And then we'll talk about what you were thinking about for professions. Now, the
Okay.
way
I don't
the
think
price
he should gamble.
That's
social engineering. Okay, so genetic engineering. If you buy the whole package that we have here, that's $25,000.
I don't want him to gamble.
Or if
Oh,
you, or the other
She
thing
has
you can do
problems.
is just check which ones that you absolutely want,
No,
and
we
they're
just went.
$5,000 a piece.
We just went down the line
You want the whole thing? Okay, well
because
let
we
me
don't want
All right.
schizophrenia. I don't think I need.
let me write you up then for the genetic engineering. That's 25,000. Okay, let's move on to social engineering add-ons. No gambling. That'd be 5,000. Should we just write you up for that right now? All right, folks. So no check, no credit card. I've run into this problem before. What we can do is we can use your PayPal account. Do you have a PayPal account?
Yeah. We have PayPal.
Okay, well then let's just use that. Is that all right? Then we'll get this taken care of right now and we can get started right away. So let me just get that going. Okay, now we'll just click return. Oh, your password failed.
What kind of side effects does this stuff have?
Well, it really.
Am I supposed to drink more than 3 of these a day?
No, 3's good. 3's plenty. Now we did, when we were doing the testing with the rats, some of the rats came down with a little rash around their nose.
Was it like this?
No, it wasn't. It was around their nose. But we haven't seen any rashes in humans yet.
Okay.
Well, I remember the Gandhi saying, saying that anytime he felt imbalanced in his life or felt that there was some kind of disturbance, he would go back to the Bhagavad Gita, the holy book, and read some passage. And I was just thinking about that because I don't know anything. I mean, I really don't know any passage in any book that ever made me feel whole again. But I remember one moment in my life that I can go back on, and it kind of was, it just sticks out the most because it was with my grandmother. And I was about 4 years old, And this was before I learned that I was going to be a musician or fell into music some way. And she packed up a lunch and a picnic basket and blanket. And I said, where are we going, Gramps? Well, we're going out to, have a picnic. And we proceeded to walk for a couple miles down the road. And we passed a cemetery. And we entered the cemetery. And we walked through all, these tombstones, this eminence of death. And we got to the center of the cemetery, and there was this pond, in the middle of spring, and there's, lily pads and stuff, and she took the blanket out and threw it down, and we had a picnic in the cemetery, and I was blown away by that. That is my idea of life and death, my idea. If at any time I forget about it, I go back to that and remember that moment. It's so vivid to me. It's so lucid that, it will never go away.
It started in '76, probably January or February. I was just a few months old, and Elvis was on American Bandstand. When they cut to commercial, started crying. I couldn't stop crying until my dad came over and started singing me Elvis songs. Calmed me down right away. I had not known this for years. I had gone through a lot of turmoil in my young adult life, and I dealt with it. And I didn't want to deal with it. I just wanted to just fall away every day. But I wrote, I sang, and I laughed, and I cried, and I tried to make it through. And I did that a lot of times by sitting in my room, dancing around, taping music that came on the radio. I loved it. Loved being by myself and in that space and creating. Tacking stuff up on the wall and talking to my posters. That was always fun. So I bumped into my radio one afternoon. It switched to another radio station when I was recording, and it pissed me off. I got so upset. And I put the tape away, hadn't listened to it for probably 2 or 3 years. I was 16 years old. I had found it. And I put it in the tape when I was cleaning up my room, and I was in that place again where I just felt so alone. And there was nothing but just like this rib cage with just all this emptiness. No one was feeding me as much as I felt I was feeding. And I had that tape in and then went through that song, and just when I thought, I can't do this anymore, Elvis popped in saying, "It's now or never," and then went right back into the song. And having not had my dad around, him dying at the age of 11, it's always been Elvis that has made me realize that you can go on. You can put on your fancy shoes and walk out the door and have a good life and choose to have a good day.
So it's very nice of you to have us in today. I see your wife isn't home, and will she be here shortly?
This is like kind of my own little thing here. It's my office where I do my video work and meditation, and as you saw, working out and stuff. So.
All right. So now the other night at the seminar, I know that you were a little critical of our services, and we think that if we're here together with you today, that we may be able to change your mind. 'cause we understand from talking to your wife after the seminar that she really wants a child. Are you ready for that?
It's the child thing I don't have a problem with. It's just the whole spirituality type of thing with me. You know, it's just something that I don't really believe in. You know, mechanical and flesh mixing. You know, I don't believe in that type of thing. But I'm also very open to a lot of other things as far as like just if it's life. If it's for a positive reason, okay, yeah. But at the same time, I don't. It looks like bullshit. It does. You know what I'm saying? I made my success off of being very straightforward, very direct, and very, observant of everything, And so when I see something that's kind of out of whack or, I tend to disagree in a very strong way, So that's just how I am,
So, now I see that you have some drug paraphernalia here. Are you aware that we have an add-on package, genetic engineering add-on package, so that we could guarantee that your son or daughter would not have an addiction gene?
An addiction gene. See, this is where we do that. You understand what I'm saying? Addiction is not what this is about. This is, the consumption of marijuana is about me, getting into my mental space, zenning out, sometimes doing film work.
Well, it could really hurt your health to be doing marijuana or any other drug that you can smoke, So
this genetically engineered kid tends to cut people off, too, in conversation. Can you correct that? I'm just playing with you. No, seriously. This is something dealing with my own spirituality, and really I don't have a problem with it. If it's within me and my wife's free will to have a child, it will simply be. If it's not, then I'm not going to go against that natural order of energy. You see what I'm saying? If you go against that, then, what then? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so,
and
your wife feels the same way.
The truth is, she feels the same way too, but if she could have it a natural way too, she would. She's just been very, very, very ambitious about having a child. If it doesn't come naturally, I really don't want to be part of it, It's just something that's within me. Are the incense getting to you?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah.
For sure.
When I was growing up, my whole family, my mom and dad, my aunts and uncles, all my cousins, they all called me Sam. And when I was old enough to ask the question, I said, well, why does everybody call me Sam when my name is Cindy? And the story went that when my sister was born, after my sister was born, my mother lost 3 children. And 2 were twins and 1 was a little boy. And then I came along, and my dad was really hoping for a boy. And they were going to name him Sam. And so they always called me Sam. And I think that it really affected me in my life. I was really a tomboy when I was growing up. And it caused some conflict for me when I became a young woman. And I really was quite sad. I wasn't quite sure how to be a woman. And I had some years of being depressed and really searching, trying to understand who I was. I think I've gone through many identity crises. But then when I was in my, I think late 20s, I met a man who taught me what it felt like to be a woman. And I fell head over heels in love with him. And it didn't last long, and I was so crushed when it was over. And I had the very good fortune that he and I had a mutual friend who had a young horse, and her name's Abby. I still have her now, 24 years later. But I asked him if I could buy her from him, because I went and met her and I just fell in love with her. She was what you call a green broke horse. She was an Egyptian Arabian, and was green broke, which meant that she was trained to have a saddle on her back, and someone had ridden her before, but not very much. So I took on the task of taking care of this horse, and it was through being with her that I learned that I could be a mother, because I had been really worried that I would be a bad mother because I had gotten so depressed. And she brought me out of it. And the way that happens is a Greenbroke horse, if you don't know where you're going, if you don't look where you want to go on the back of that horse, the horse will go wherever they want to go. So you have to have a really precise intention about where you're going with your life. And so finding her and living with her and taking care of her taught me how to guide my life in ways that I hadn't known how to do before.
Thinking about childhood, my mom always said, hey, if you're going to be on TV, you ain't got a whole lot of time to watch it. So this is kind of, I guess, her lesson to me. She's still alive. I don't mean to make her sound like she's gone. Parents are still married 40 years. I'm very happy about that. Inspirational it is. But truth is, I want to tell you is that growing up was not always easy. It was kind of a real difficult thing. I had two different paths. I had the dark and I had the light working. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like, when I was born, I always had like this certain type of directness about me. I always had this certain type of, like, I guess one would call it anger, I guess, whatever. But still, it was just inside of me, it was just how I felt, my emotions, and how I, displayed them to other people. And so basically, I never forget it. My mom told me, she's like, one time I asked you to eat some broccoli, and you was like, you just put your fork and pointed at me, and I never forget it because I was like sore for like a day after that, So it was just like for that show of that wrong show of emotion, and in my genetic history of like where I come from, we had my father. He served during Vietnam, but he didn't serve in Vietnam. What he did, he served in Okinawa during when the soldiers were stationed there. So that's where I get my internal bouncer from. And so that's pretty much what served me later in life too, becoming a bouncer, coming to living on the East Coast for so long and coming out here to Santa Fe doing the same thing. And his father was in World War II, and his father was in World War I. It's just like this whole just genetic history of affiliation with fire and war and death and all this other craziness and stuff. And so trying to come to terms to balance that, I'll never forget it. I was 20 years old, and I was living in Richmond, Virginia with a young lady. We ended up living for like 5 years together or whatever. But I don't know what it was. It's something about when you get your back against the wall, you just look for an outlet. And your emotions are so built up inside, you just don't even know where you're gonna can I write this shit down? What can I do? So it's just like, okay, here we go. I said, you know what? I'm gonna fast for 40 days. I just didn't eat anything. 40 days, just water, just nothing, not even like sexual contact, just nothing. And it was just like, and I came out of it. I mean, during it, I saw like the whole creation of man, like everything that was like ever connected anything to anything you think you may have been or may think you want to be. And it was like being inside of a energy spectrum, something weird that you can just feel good and feel. But I realized when I came out of it, that how to balance that emotion, that emotional content that I have inside of me, as opposed to being aggressive and just really coming out and saying what I feel. I express what I feel in so many different ways. It just goes so much more further now.
I still can't place who he is, and I know he was at that party. And everybody yelled at me. They're like, "You don't know who Gene Hackman is," and I was like, I just can't place him.
Just say Lex
Give me a
Luthor.
fucking break,
He's only been in 100 movies.
I'm a rebel actress. I don't have to
yeah?
know. I don't have to be in competition with all these drama freaks and go, "Oh yeah, well, did you see that one? About the I have other things to do."
Are you venting?
Yeah, I'm also thankful that I get to do whatever I want.
Who? How come?
Probably because of you.
Really? Is that why you like me?
That's not why I like you.
Why would anybody like me?
Are you gonna keep saying that?
Why would anybody like me?
Why does my wife still love me?
Why does my wife love me, and who is she, and who am I? Why is
does
there
my
poop
wife...
in my diaper?
Exactly. You're gonna manifest poopy diapers.
Why is it so cold? Poopy diapers.
You're gonna manifest.
Why is it so cold in here?
Did you call the people and ask them if these babies cry?
They better not cry. If they cry, it's your job.
What?
I'm leaving the house.
I'm not afraid of a crying baby.
Good, you better not be, because I won't.
All you gotta do is just talk it down a little bit. Like, yo, man, chill. Some month in the spring.
You can give me a birthday present? When you reach your 80s, you know it's coming. When you're in your early 20s, your father turns 55 and dies, you know, the world falls apart, shatters like Krypton, Krypton. But it just, you know, it shatters, and that's actually, I was totally an accident that I thought of Krypton, but that's a good reference for the father-son with, especially in the newest Superman with Brando's the father to the son. When my father suddenly died, you know, nobody knew. There's no book, you know. Somebody said to me, there's about 11 emotions that you'll go through over the next 7 years or so, and I have no idea what they are, he said, but I know that I went through them, and I understand now, years later, and began to understand over the years exactly what he meant. It's nothing you can explain, but you know, my older brother, felt like he needed to become the father, and that left the three of us in a situation that was not right, because he's the son, he's not the husband, and you know, we didn't need a father. And my uncle, you know, made it clear that he wasn't going to be anyone's father, and then he kind of did by accident sort of take that role, in many ways mostly positive, but you know, it disrupts the whole family structure, and in fact, a friend was talking about it last night, saying that, you know, for years I was a mess, partly because of it, and I said, yeah, and it's something to come to terms with, but then there's suddenly those moments where you just, maybe you've had a drink or two, or you're totally sober, but you're just up in the mountains and you just want to turn and talk to him. Or sometimes I find myself about to say to my mother, you know, what would Dad say, or what did Dad say, not what would. You forget that he's passed away.
I've been called Smiley a lot, and I tend to smile a lot, probably because my mother was telling me since like birth to get that scowl off my face. So I smile a lot, and my mother, my dear mother, I think it's interesting that when I found the adoption papers for my little brother and found out that I was conceived out of wedlock, what a huge impact that had on my mother. And she broke down, and she's just, but I loved you and I wanted to keep you, and da-da-ba-da-ba-da. And I thought, well, of course you did. I mean, oh God, my back.
Leave the phone.
Jeez. All right. Listen to me hack, I'm gonna hack for you, baby. Okay, here's my new rock song that I ripped off. Needs more distortion. Dead leaves in the dirty ground when I know you're not around. Shiny tops and a soda pop when I hear your lips make a sound. When I hear your lips make a sound.
You think our microchip baby will sing better than me?
Send bombs in the mailbox will tell you that I'm coming home. And I think I'm gonna stick around for a while so you're not alone. For a while so you're not alone.
hear me coming down the hall. If I could just hear your pretty voice, I don't think I need to sleep at all. Don't think I need to see at all. Soft hair and a velvet tongue, I wanna give you what you give to me. And every breath that is in your lungs is a tiny little gift to me. It's a tiny little gift to me.
There we go. Let's hear some music that my son has composed.
Perhaps you're not the right partner.
She's not making targets. That's how it's killing. Bam. You know,
Go. One hot cocoa.
Oh, beautiful.
You want anything?
No, I'll be
Want
good.
some water? I got some water here.
I got some water.
I'll take it.
You'll take the water.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Nice place.
You'll get a good tip.
I'll take care of the tip.
All right.
So 50 mil.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the problem, but you know, what's my return like in the first 6 months?
Well, you know, really, you were at the seminar yesterday. You saw the people. They were a bit excited, and it's honestly,
Excited, yeah.
it's really honest to God. A $13,000 medical procedure with a hotel stay attached to it.
Right.
I mean, we
and all that masseuse stuff.
Yeah.
That new age bullshit that woman was plugging.
Yeah. No, that stuff is
Well,
all
that new
markup.
age shit smells. It smells.
But that's where the markup
sells.
is. Where the markup is.
No,
sells,
no,
yeah.
no.
You gotta do it out here, though.
And
you
you know,
gotta do
to
Santa
be
Fe.
honest, you know, I spent my career, and now I'm ready to get into green businesses.
There you go.
So is this a green company?
It appeals to the green demographic. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess there are plastics involved in the equipment and whatnot. You know, fossil
The future's
fuels.
still in plastic.
Okay. You know, we use the term digital organics for a reason.
Mhm.
We have, you know, a lot of. I mean, it's a technology-based company, but the organics, you know, you put up the front of take it out of the hospital, take it out to the desert, the spiritual this,
And
the
my
holistic
name,
that.
my name gets on
organics.
I get my
Digital
name.
organics. Yeah. I mean,
World.
can you do what I do? Can you do? I mean, we'll send you a script. We'll send you the guidebook. But you get up on stage and you do all that stuff.
Well,
it's just memorization.
I think that my fiancée, I mean, she's the actress. She should
there
be
you
the
go.
spokeswoman for this.
It's perfect.
And she's the most beautiful woman in the whole, all of Santa Fe. You know.
I got news. You don't need a degree to be an evangelist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.5.
For the rights, then we
I tell
send
you what,
you
I'll make
the
it 9.
startup
I'll make
kit.
it 9.
Make it 9. That's a good tip.
You know what? Fuck it, 10.
10?
Give me a number. My
All right.
accountant hates when I do odd numbers. Where's my pen?
I didn't bring it.
There it is.
There you go.
$500 pen. You seen this?
Like what the astronauts use.
In fact, NASA gave me this.
Yeah.
No, how do you spell million? God, I haven't checked. No, what should I put for White Stork franchise?
Yeah,
Green
White-
Stork. What was it? Green
White Stork.
White Stork franchise.
Franchise
And who
option.
does this go to?
We'll make that out to me.
To you.
Yeah. It's MIK.
All right. Is that enough?
That's great. Thank you. This
right.
will be fun.
Yeah. Well, Audrey, you know what I need now? You know, I need you to. We just gave Nico $5 million, so I need you to start getting the wedding prepared. You hire the best wedding planner in all of New Mexico, and we'll have, I don't know, what, 3,000 people there? And, you know, it's got to be the best wedding that's ever been. All right? All right, yeah.
Hi. Can my friend Miles play with you?
Sure.
Okay. Have fun.
Let's see it. I'll play some basketball? Sure. Okay, get you first. Oh my, wow, that was so good. Okay, you come sit down here.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me pull this up here in the computer. Voila, here we are. Okay, so Karina and Jill Moore. There's two of you, right? And, well, there's another one over here. What's his name?
This is Liam.
Liam, okay, we'll put him in the list here just in case. And are there any other children as of now?
Yes, we do. I have a son, Addison, from a previous relationship.
Addison. Okay, excellent. Okay. So, now that you've had a chance, again, to look it over, what reservations are you having?
I don't have reservations about the program itself. I think the program is wonderful. We have a beautiful son, Liam, through the microchip process. He's wonderful. I think it's a great process. I really think we're fine with 2 children, Jill. We've talked about this.
You know I want a big family. I want 2 more children.
I know that's what you want.
We can afford it.
Well, you know, right now we have 2 and we're barely holding it together.
That's not true.
Yes, yes,
That's
it
not
is.
true. We're doing a beautiful job.
You have a hard time when I come home late. You're having a hard time when I've got some work to do on the weekends.
Well, we'll just have to hire some help. I want
Well,
a big family.
That's true, if I may interject, that's true, but what's different about the kids that you're going to have through this program is that these kids are genetically modified.
You know, I don't care how perfect
Well, here's another thought.
they are.
How about if we were able to work with you so that we can give you a payment plan?
I told you it's not about money.
We don't
Honey.
need it. Just let him speak. You know,
All right, honey, I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you, okay? I'll listen to the man. I'll hear what he has to say.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. And I got into the bath, and I had left the door a little bit ajar. And I just started completely relaxing into the warm water. And I thought I heard some sounds in the hallway, and I thought it was my cat brushing up against a coat or something. And I suddenly the door opened a little bit, and I thought it was my cat again. And I had lit 2 candles in the bathroom, so everything was dark except for 2 candles on the counter. And then the door opened, and this man came in. He had his head wrapped in gauze, and he had some tufts of hair sticking up out of the gauze. And he was breathing through it really loud. And he, as soon as he came in, he extinguished the candles. And he was breathing really heavily. I could hear it in the darkness. And I was still completely shocked. I was in shock. I was kind of taking everything in slow motion. And suddenly I could feel him near the edge of the tub. He was reaching for the tub, and he started to touch me and grope me, and he reeked of alcohol. And I didn't say a word. I couldn't say a word. And I scrunched up in a fetal position in the bathtub, and I was hanging on to the faucet and in a fetal position. And he was groping me, and I suddenly what flashed in my mind is that I don't want to go this way. I don't want to have an experience that's going to be worse than what this already is. And I started screaming really loud, "No!" And I started splashing water on him, and just screaming and screaming. No, I was basically, I made this decision, like, I am not going to let this happen. I will not let it go down this way. And he, after a while of struggling, he started to struggle a little bit more. And I splashed more water, and I screamed really loud, and then he ran away. He ran out the door. And, it was a really really amazing experience, I realized, even later that night as I was lying in bed, that where would I invite someone like that into my life, to come into my house, into my most private space? And where would I let somebody think that they could do that to me? And I realized I might have been a victim to the circumstance, but I will not choose to be a victim in my life and let the experience create me to be a victim. So I realized, I went back in my head and I realized all the ways that I really didn't show up as a woman, as a person, in my relationships, in my life, how I wasn't making eye contact with men, how I had basically taken a back seat in my life.
Well, anyway, what about if you just buy into the program? So you can have your own perfect child.
What's going on? What's gonna happen when he gets older? He's just gonna leave. I can't be alone. I have to have a big family.
What am I to you? I'll still be here. We'll still have this house. We'll still have wonderful things. They're going to go out and meet other people and bring them back to us. We will still have a life.
This is about my future. I need more children in my life. You know what happened to my family?
Honey, you can volunteer.
What does volunteering have to do with it? I can have more children.
Volunteer at the school. Volunteer at Addison's school.
No.
Look at this child. Look how beautiful he is. Have you ever seen a more perfect child in your life?
No, he's beautiful. We are so happy. Doctor, that's really
What is happiness worth to you? You said you have everything, but it sounds like you want something more. Is it a man?
Is this really going to make you happy?
Do you need a man in your life?
Excuse me?
I mean,
Excuse me?
I know the both of you
Oh my
are.
God.
Well,
I can't believe you just said that.
that's a man right there. He's gonna be the perfect man in your life. Perfect. Look at him. As I was trying to say, the program is actually quite easy. You know, you can even do it in installments, and if you really feel very strong about the program, you yourself can pay for it.
Okay.
Questions are you?
I am.
Okay, let's do it.
Jill.
Let me just borrow this pen in a second.
Jill, don't do it. Don't do it. I will leave you.
Well, look, if this program is not for you, Karina, then that's fine. I don't want to push. If this is going to hurt the relationship.
Here.
Put it down right now.
No.
Put it down.
I-
Put it down right now.
Karina, maybe you need to relax a little bit. Just relax. Look, she's
Don't
obviously.
touch me. Don't touch me.
Okay.
Please. It's just not okay with me.
Early in my life, I was always amazed by older women. I was always intrigued by them, attracted by them. There was always something powerful about them, mysterious. And I had a relationship in my 20s with an African-American girl, and she hadn't had much experience with men, and neither had I at the time with women. And we both kind of were fumbling through the relationship. And the sex thing came into it, and we had been going out for about 2 years. And then she finally challenged me, you know, when are you going to be a boyfriend? And I was like, yeah, right, boyfriend, okay. So I became a boyfriend. But that brought in the whole enchilada, the whole mix of being in a relationship, and sex came into it. And after she sort of challenged me, I rose to the occasion. And she, when I did, she left. I always wondered what was the problem with me, you know, like what was it that pushed her away or that made her, you know, fearful. So binge for about 6 months, and just any able-bodied woman I could find who wanted this able-bodied man. But the relationships were shorter and less than fulfilling. And there was that memory of sort of, why did she leave? What was wrong with me?
Doc, what if I make a donation? What if I
Oh,
help
really?
you feel some kind of
How much?
monetary quota?
How much?
I don't know. Let's discuss that. Okay?
How much?
Because if it's just about money, I'm talking about poverty.
No, it's not about the money. We could use that donation and we could help some other people that may not be able to get it. But the problem here is, Karina, Jill will not get what she wants.
Let's think about it, please.
He doesn't know our history together. I can't lose Karina.
Of course not.
I was only 21 weeks pregnant, and I had to rush to the emergency room and was told I was in preterm labor. The nurse put me in a really odd position because she was worried I was going to start going into delivery mode. And she gave me the news that I was going to deliver, it was preterm contraction for sure, and I was going to lose Elliot. And she told me that I'd have to figure out my options of what to do once I had him because he wasn't viable, and I had to figure out if I wanted to resuscitate him before he would pass. Those were the single worst moments of my life.
This is not what I envisioned. I thought we were going to sign the check today and get 2 more babies. What are you going to do?
Honey, I will give 50 grand right now. I'll write a check for $50,000 to this doctor right now.
Okay.
Is that all right?
It helps.
Will that do it?
I don't know.
Will you be satisfied for now?
I guess so.
This is for you, babe.
Thank you. And we're going to put it in an escrow account, and it's going to collect interest. I'm going to hold it there for 3 months, just like a deposit.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys haven't really had a chance to really talk about this, and that's really what this is the basis of. So you guys talk it out, and if you change your mind, we'll take this and we will give you a superb discount. Because now we have a deposit. We know your intention is really pure. We know you want to do this.
That is not a deposit, it's a donation, doctor.
No, I like
It's
his
okay.
idea.
It's okay. Just feel it out. Nothing has to be ingrained
Okay,
inside.
alright.
We already know that you have the perfect baby. Now, if you want to have the perfect family, we'll hold on to this for you. And in 3 months' time, if you get back to us, we will put this toward the professional program. We'll put it in there for you, just for you, Joe. All right? That's what we're going to do for you today.
Thank you so much.
You say you believe in families.
Yes, I do.
What effect
The
do
perfect family.
Right. And what effect do you think that has on the world?
I think
the
it can
population.
change absolutely how we live, the wars that were happening right now, and I really feel that kids can grow up, they can be well loved.
Okay, wait. I'm not finished with you. I really don't feel good about this. What I have said is that I wanted to make a donation.
And we really
and it's
appreciate
not about
it.
a deposit.
And we absolutely
It's not about having
appreciate it.
another child. We've already done this.
Okay.
Now, if you're
We'll have
not
to
going to
catch
do
a
that with the
plane.
money, I want my money back.
No.
I want that check
No,
back.
no.
Don't talk to him like that.
The money will be made if in 3 months you do not come.
I want my check back. You're not listening to me. And I'm actually getting angry here. He's not listening to me. This is all bullshit. This is the thing that he's supposed to be talking about.
Calm down.
No, I'm
It's
not going to
fair.
calm down. That's a lot of money. And he's not listening to me, and he's trying to coerce you into thinking something that I am not for.
Jill, can you talk to her?
I don't think he's not trying to make you do something you don't want to do. It's for us.
Okay, Karina. Absolutely. It will go to a donation. And it will go with your family's name.
That's
Thank
right.
you very much.
That's right.
Somebody can use this. Okay, I have to catch a plane and I really have to go.
I'll walk you out.
Thank you so much, Karina. Joe, really appreciate it. And I can just say goodbye to. Aw, look how perfect he is. Huh?
Liam is wonderful.
He sure is.
I'll lock you out.
Okay, good night.
Okay, get a little more sleep. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Thank you so much.
Miles, here's some food here we can enjoy.
Right here.
But as I was trying to say,
Yeah.
that's what the whole program's about. It's about these super smart kids that are gonna soon populate the whole earth. If
The
you
whole
look out,
earth.
yeah, if you look out there into the world,
Absolutely.
look how quiet it is.
Yeah.
Everybody's sleeping.
Yeah.
How many people are really out there are really super smart? I don't know. Remember the story of Johnny Appleseed? He went all around, and what did he do? He planted seeds, and what did those seeds do? They grew up, just like these kids.
Right.
And what happened when the trees grew up? The apples.
Right.
They're like everywhere.
Everywhere.
And that's the whole concept of this program.
It's like a new world order.
Yeah.
It's like a new religion.
Yeah, you understand it. And
Spot 20.
the Renaissance of the whole world, not just one person, because every generation will be a Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
Every generation, an Albert Einstein, an Isaac Newton, you know, those guys.
What are you gonna read, Miles?
War and Peace, dictionary, something like that. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's revolutionary.
If you aim for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. That's my saying for the day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, people, everybody, time to get up. It's the final day. Everybody up.
All right, we gotta follow through with the program.
Breakfast is served in the main room.
Breakfast.
I'm up.
Wow.
People, come on, people. Time to get up. Well, it's very nice to come to the end of the week with you all. We just have had the most fantastic retreat that we've ever had, and the most successful week that we've ever had. We have one pregnancy already. We know that you two are working on it. Yeah. We know you two have been working on it pretty hard. We didn't want to tell you earlier this week because we wanted to have our time with you, but the fact of the matter is, this couple has purchased our whole company and we'll be running it. We're going to be going on to new ventures.
My goodness, it's hard to imagine leaving the retreat. Do we have to leave?
We're gonna hire this guy to be the CEO. He's the CEO now. What? Because of your NASA background?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want you to be the chief operating officer of the company.
Of this company?
What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Well, with your background at NASA, we know you've got a lot of skills.
Hey, if you guys can get a man up in the moon, you know you can, create the next perfect children. Come on.
Hold on a second, guys. All right, 12 years in NASA, yada, yada, yada. All right, it was a joke. All right? I'm not smart, all right?
Yeah, you're smart.
No, I'm not smart.
Yeah,
I was.
you are. You're smart.
It's a lot of responsibility, but it's not.
I wasn't even in NASA. It's a big freaking lie.
And then I got thrown out of UVA.
Just
And
wanna-
look at me. We're
Well,
not gonna
you
leave you
now-
high and dry.
You now have the success
If
story.
and he's gonna be the marketing, manager, spokesman, sort of. So he's not just bowing out,
Fine.
There we go.
Already know
There
exactly
we
what
go.
your question two.
There we go.
We think you're much smarter than you were a week ago. Look, a week ago, you were afraid to even come into the program, and look at you now.
Where's my drink?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Where's my drink?
And
Oh,
remember,
that drink.
We did the genetic engineering so your children won't have a drinking problem.
What are you talking about?
I touched it.
I put my arm in it 4 times. It's got a nice look.
Let's get out of here while the getting's good.